class. Thank you for being here today. Today we're going to talk about scams and how to be safe on the internet, okay? So as you're going through school, you want to make sure that you're taking the proper steps. You're being safe, you know the type of scams that are out there and how they can affect you, okay? So the first one we're going to talk about today is emails. So you have to be really careful to check where the emails that you're getting are coming from and make sure that they're coming from a reliable source and that it's a legit source. One story with this. I had a friend who was receiving emails from the city saying that they needed to make payments on something that they didn't know what it was about. And they just wanted their personal information and they wanted a payment, okay? And it wasn't legit. So make sure that you know where your emails are coming from and that you're aware that that does happen. If you have any questions, you can always ask teachers or you can ask parents or someone and they'll help you to know if that's legit. Also, pop-ups. That's becoming more of a problem. So some websites that you can go on can give your computer a virus and you'll receive a pop-up on your computer and it will say, call this toll-free number if you want to get this fixed. And it will just continuously do that until you call the number and there'll be someone on the line who will ask you for your personal information. They'll say, if you give us this and this and this, then we can fix your computer for you. We'll get the problem fixed. And it's usually not actually someone who can fix your computer. They're just looking to get your personal information and they're looking to take your identity. Okay, so that's another thing to be aware of. One more we want to cover today is scholarships. Okay, so I know a lot of you are getting ready to apply for college and you're super excited about scholarships. If you have someone approach you and they tell you that if you give them money, they can help you with scholarships, or if you fill out a form and it's saying it doesn't ask you for information like your GPA or your service hours or something like that, it's probably not legit, okay? That's another scam that's focused a lot on high school students who are looking for scholarships. So another thing to be aware of, okay? We'll talk more about this later.
Class, it has come to my attention that we need to talk a little bit about internet safety and what kind of information you're putting out on the internet. So, some different statistics that we have found is that 11% of children have had their social security numbers misused, and 1 in 40 children before the age of 18 will become victims to identity theft. Another thing is that children are 35 times more likely than adults to become victims of identity theft, which is huge. I know a lot of you guys are on social media, you have Facebook and Instagram, but the more personal information you put out there, like your phone number, your address, your email, the worse it is and the more danger you are going to be put in. People will see that information, they will stalk you, they will come to your house, they may even hurt you, they'll try to take your identity and your money. And another big thing is I know that you guys are on these websites and you meet people and you're chatting, chat rooms, different things like that. And some people will lie about their age just to meet you. They will meet you and then they may end up kidnapping you or hurting you or trying to take things from you, and that is huge, which is really scary and dangerous. So the less information, personal information you put out there, the better. Another big thing is I know a lot of you guys are going into college soon and looking at scholarships because it's a huge help when you're paying for college. And so these scholarships, there are scholarship scams out there that you need to be aware of. And so a big thing is that these companies will put out different phrases or different things out there. And one of those is this scholarship has a small fee. And you also need to be aware of scholarship organizations that have an upfront fee because scholarships aren't going to make you pay. They want to give you the money. Another thing is there are organizations that will set up interviews at hotels and it's like an information seminar that you actually have to pay for, but there are tons of different websites out there that give you free information about scholarships and you don't need to pay for any of it. And so the biggest thing is just remembering to protect yourselves at all costs with these different types of situations on the internet. So remember to just put the least amount of personal information about yourself on there that you can and be aware of different scholarship scams and as well as email scams and things like that.
Yes,
so
teacher.
that you can be protected. Thank you.
Hello class, today we're going to just be talking about avoiding internet scams and how we can do that. First, it all starts with your personal information, your footprint, and learning to recognize what these scams are. First, we're going to be talking about how we can avoid these scams by looking at the URL. If it says .edu and .gov, it is probably a legitimate site. However, if it says .com or .org, you may want to look into that. There are so many people that want your money, so many people that don't, that aren't honest. And by following those guidelines and checking and making sure you know who they are, you can avoid them. How many of these scams you receive is up to you. Your footprint, the larger your footprint, the larger the target. Do you want to be a large target?
Not
Good. So what do? We have to make sure our personal information is kept to a bare minimum. We have to make sure that what we put online is what we want others to see. If we share our number, everyone has our number. If we share personal pictures about ourselves, everyone has those personal pictures. By being conscientious, we can avoid it. Yes?
Can't you just delete those things once you post them?
Once they're online for good. All it takes is a simple click and picture, and they will always be online. So that is why it's important to make sure that you post what you want others to see. With that, if you are always conscientious, if you come with a plan, why are you using social media? You come with, I want to communicate. I need to do an assignment. Or if I want to just goof off, you need to be careful with all those three to make sure that you're focused, to make sure that you're safe. By being safe, you will usually stay within the bounds that are legal. Thank you. What you up to?
Oh, I'm just talking to this guy on Facebook. He's been bothering me for a while now.
What's he doing?
He's just asking for things like money and for pictures, and I don't really know him. He's just a friend of a friend that added me.
So, I don't think that's necessarily a safe thing to give out personal information. Too much personal information can be kind of dangerous and lead you into scams.
Yeah, so what should I do about it?
I'd recommend blocking him.
Can you help me do that?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.